Hey, it's May here. Do you ever find yourself in these conversations that turn out to be more combative than they really need to be at work or maybe even outside of work? And sometimes it's even with a colleague or a person that you really get along with in real life. But yet in these conversations, it's almost like you're playing verbal tennis. One person says one thing, the other person smacks it back, and it just escalates from there. Well, one of my clients is in this kind of situation. He runs one unit, a senior colleague at the same level as him, they're both very senior, runs another unit, and they sometimes need to collaborate and cooperate, but each of their units has their own goals and KPIs, key performance indicators. So he asked me, how do I figure out a way to get out of this verbal tennis that's not productive and frankly doesn't feel very good? So here are 5 things that I found work really well for me in the past. Maybe they'll help you. So the first thing is stop trying to convince the other person. The other person is just as sure they are right as you are sure you are right. So it's sort of like trying to get a ring off your finger when your finger is swollen already, and then the more you tug at it, the worse it makes the situation. So stop trying to convince people. Second thing is then you want to start seeing it from their perspective and invite them to see it from yours. But you've got to go first. Someone has to go first. So that's about asking, well, what would success be from your perspective? What would need to be true in order for this to be something that would be really energizing for you and your department? Then the third thing is when you're in the conversation, in the meeting, in the discussion, then if you find that the old patterns of verbal tennis are coming up again, then you can do what I call a pattern interrupt, which could be asking a question. It could be just saying, hey, are we in a fight? Or it could be just calling time out and saying, you know what, I'm really sorry. Whatever I said, I want to take it back because I don't want to end up arguing with you. I respect you too much, and frankly, I'm just remembering we really get along well. Can we get to a way forward that is going to be a win for both of us? And then the fourth thing is once you do that, then I really like the idea of figuratively and literally sitting side by side. Somehow when you're sitting side by side, certainly mentally for yourself, as well as physically, ideally, then it's a lot less combative than if you're sitting across the table from each other. So see if you can swivel yourself around mentally, if not physically, to sit side by side, and then comes the fifth part, which is looking at that common mission, that common goal that's bigger than each of your individual department's goals or unit's goals or your personal goals, and remind yourselves that, hey, we're in it to make a bigger impact. So you can sit side by side and really look for that third way. Sort of say, and that's where you can start having what if discussions. Ask, hey, what if we did this? Or what if we could find that third way? What would that look like? And get yourselves really energized about this new, better way that would be a win for you, a win for them, and a win for the entire organization or the entire family in the case that this might happen at home. So I hope those 5 steps, 5 ways, 5 lessons I've learned might help you when you're in that verbal tennis type of situation. So how often are you finding yourself playing verbal tennis, and which of these modalities, these methodologies might be helpful to you? Leave me a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're watching this from somewhere other than my blog, head on over to maybusch.com/blog, and I look forward to welcoming you there. And in the meantime, I invite you to get out there, be bold, play big, and spark joy for yourself and everyone around you.